Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. You'll see that I am pulling out stamps and some pens and doing some writing. That is because I have discovered a journal solo RPG. This one is called 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. I've done a couple in the past, but this one just sounded so much fun. My friend Becky picked it up, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Let me play too. She opted for a more digital version where she's doing it all on her iPad and just enjoying the clickety-clack of her keyboards. But because I have been so obsessed with my fountain pens over the last few months, I decided I really wanted to start a new notebook and make my game in my notebook. So basically, I am using this kind of as a creative outlet. I haven't been writing a lot lately, and it's just something that I really want to do. And I've been feeling very inspired lately from Bridgerton and the Regency era. So of course my character is set in the Regency period, and I'm very excited to continue on in this journey. So for this video, I am only setting up my character and her background. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I did a lot of research on Reddit. I watched a couple YouTube videos of people setting it up, and I still don't completely know if what I'm doing is correct, but because this is just for me, I guess if the whole thing is just getting a creative outlet and having fun and another hobby for myself, because Lord knows I need 500 hobbies. But I thought this would be a lot of fun. I had this really great old Archer and Olive journal that I got, what was it, last year? I don't know, but I pre-ordered it with their Halloween theme, and I have been waiting to save it for something fancy. And what better thing to save it for than a vampire RPG? It's got this really cool silver kind of keyhole in the front, and I just have been really enjoying it so far. I love my Archer and Olive journals, and I'm always looking for new ways to fill them because I can't stop buying them. I have a problem. Or maybe it's not a problem if I'm actually using them. I mean, that's the whole point, right? And I just think this is quite fun. So basically, this point of this game is that you are a vampire. And so it's kind of like you through, from what I understand, because I obviously haven't played the game through yet, you are through hundreds of years, maybe even thousands, and bad things are going to happen and fun things are going to happen. And it even tells you in the beginning to create 3 characters, mortal characters that matter to your character, but just know that they're not going to last long, because either you're going to get older or probably most likely they're going to die, because that's the point of a vampire game, right? I have no idea. I know that I have played 2 rounds of it. Like, I have done 2 rolls, and so far all I have added is 1 extra character and 1 extra resource. So for now, my character, she's sitting pretty great with a lot of things, because once you run out of certain things, I think if you run out of skills and resources, then your game's over and you are a dead vampire. So this is kind of like one of those things where it's just a solo thing. You can do it on your own, in your journal, or on the computer. And I am taking it and really just enjoying the process. So when I was thinking about my character, I was thinking, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing yet. So let me figure out what my character is like. And I had no idea. And I still kind of have no idea, except that she is a Regency woman who is betrothed to her next door neighbor, and they've been betrothed for their entire lives. And then she has this mysterious man who shows up across the street, kind of a la Salem's Lot or Dracula style. And he whisks her into his home and turns her into a vampire. So that's what I have decided. I don't know much more about him. I named him Drake because Dracula, and I was being silly. But, I mean, it is for me, and it doesn't have to be anything but silly. So I just want to reiterate that. This fun solo RPG is solely for me, and it can be solely for you if this is something that you're interested in. I don't expect that people who hop on to an art channel very often to be really into role-playing, but I have put in art at the end of this. So these first 10 minutes of this is just me journaling what my character is. And I wanted to show this, how my process has kind of expanded, because I've just started using bullet journals last year. So not even a full year, maybe a full year, but not even that long doing creative journaling. And I have really just enjoyed the process, and I wanted to create a video. So I thought, here we go. I am getting better at lettering. So I put her name in my fun hand script font in the top, and I have no idea. I have no idea where I came up with Pendering, but that's her last name. And at one point in my book later, or in my journal later, I wrote Penderling. So I'm not sure. It's a name. Why not? But I nodded at our love Jane Austen and named her Emma, because why not? And I'm just kind of coming up with things. I decided that she has for her resources, because the whole thing is you come up with everything. So for her resources, I came up with a reliable set of daggers, an inheritance, and a horse-drawn carriage. Now, the thing with this is that I did really heavily use, for at least resources and kind of the mark of a vampire and everything, I used this generator that somebody had created, and I will leave a link in my notes for this generator. But it really helped me to be able to have like a basis. So the book itself, I didn't feel like it had a great basis line, and I got a little confused. So that's why I went on to Reddit and Google and spent some time trying to figure out how exactly to set this game up. So I feel like after I did that, and I have all of this background knowledge here, I feel so much readier to like get into this world of Emma. Who is Emma the vampire? What happened to her? And that's kind of the basis of the game so far, is what I found out. And so, I don't know, I am really into doing things creatively for myself, but lately I have felt so tapped out and I don't have any ideas. So I thought that doing something like this might generate some ideas of writing in my head. I do spend a lot of time in another journal journaling about my life, which is great. I love that. I want to be able to leave that for my children so that someday they can look back and be like, oh my gosh, here's another journal entry from my mother about how much she loves us because we didn't know already. So we had to have 500 journal entries where she says, I love my kids. They are so funny. Ha ha ha. Okay, I'm only half joking and being sarcastic, but that's kind of what my other journals are. So I've just been playing with trying to figure out creative ways to use my journals. And I've probably repeated myself a couple times, but anyway. And that is my setup. So now we're moving in to my character art. And I have been playing with just drawing and sketching, so you can kind of faintly see the blue color Eno that I laid down first. I haven't been filming my sketches with this blue color Eno. I've tried in the past and it's just so light that the camera has a really hard time picking it up. So I skipped to my inking process. And as you can see, I am using a platinum Curidas pen in an extra fine nib, and I have De Atramentis. I cannot say that. I have no idea if I said it even correctly or remotely correctly, but I have red gray ink and it's a document ink. So if I ever wanted to go through this with watercolor, I could. And I have been doing this kind of technique. I'm learning more how to shade with one color ink, and I'm having a lot of fun trying to figure out different crosshatch techniques and whatnot. So I start with just a basic thin line, and I am trying to control my lines more. So I'm really getting into it with my arm. And so rather than just using my wrist, because that's not good for you anyway, I'm using my arm. And now I'm going through here after I've gotten that one thin line, going through with my blue pencil, because you can't really see it once you get the ink down, to kind of mark where I want my hatching and my shading to be. So you can kind of see that too as I go through. Once I have those, they are there for a guideline for me, and you can erase them afterwards too. And just in case you were wondering, I do not write this fast. I do not draw this fast. This was hours truncated down into 19 minutes. So obviously this is not as a fast process. I didn't do real time for this video because, like I said, it would have been a long time. So I just kind of wanted to get into the process. I will do some more videos of where I am going with this inking, but that's kind of what I'm doing. So now I'm right now making some of the lines thicker, especially where the outlines are, so you get that bold line with the cross hatching. I just love that look. I have spent a while trying to figure out how to ink. I've done a couple Inktobers. I have really just looked at some really cool ink people online to get this down. It takes a while. It really takes a while. I mean, gosh, how many Inktobers have I done now? I started 3-4 years ago. What really got me back into art was an Inktober. And those pieces are so different than even just last year. So it's been a couple years, 3, that I have been practicing my inking. So it takes a while. It definitely takes a while. Where those thick lines are, you will see that I have to go back and color them in. This is an extra fine nib, and when I say extra fine, it is super, super fine. It is like, it scritches and scratches almost like a pencil. So this is one of my thinnest nibs on a pen. I have heard so many negative reviews on this Platinum Curidas, but for some reason I love it. I got it on super sale during Black Friday last year, and I am just so happy with the way that it sketches. It's big and chunky, which I love in my little hands, and it works really great for what I use it for. And I love it, especially for drawing. I find that when writing, I actually prefer a little bit thicker of a nib. And when I actually started playing the game after this video, I did switch to a different pen for writing, but I love drawing with this pen. It is probably one of my favorite at the moment. I have just a few pens that I use for drawing, and this is one of them. And I can't recommend it enough. But also what I have learned about fountain pens is that everyone has their preference. So if you're getting into fountain pens, I'd recommend starting and figuring out what looks like what you like. And the nice thing about Platinum is Platinum has this pen called the Preppy, which is one of the like lowest cost fountain pens. So you can really get into fountain pens in a smaller, less cost wise way. And you only start out with 1 or 2 inks. I have too many inks, but I just kind of got obsessed because I really love my fountain pens. And these De Atramentis, or however you say the brand name, their document inks, I am now like, that's pretty much all I use at this point in many of my pens, because I love that I can use them. There's so many different colors, and I love that I can use them with my watercolors. So I get these really great, beautiful, different shades that I can use in my sketchbook, in my Archer and Olive books, in things, because I can even use watercolor in Archer and Olive notebooks. I've switched pretty primarily over to Archer and Olive for a lot of things. I don't always love drawing with the dot grid, and right now it's very hard to get their sketchbooks, which frustrates me, but I'm hoping that they have another release soon so I can get stocked back up on sketchbooks, because I am just towards the end of mine. I have found, though, the last couple months that I'm not completing sketchbooks as fast, not because of that, but because I'm flip-flopping into these different kinds of hobbies and practices. So, yeah, I enjoy just jumping out of the box and trying new things. And I hope that you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. And I do plan on kind of continuing to share all these little hobbies that kind of go together. Anyway, I will let you enjoy the last part of this video. And if you liked it, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. I always appreciate it. And I really enjoy just sharing this little hobby of mine with you as I improve and continue on my journey. Have a wonderful time and enjoy the rest of this video. Thanks.